Ladies and gentlemen, men and women alike, let's talk about love. The kind that hides behind hesitation, behind nervous laughter, behind silence that says more than words ever could. Because sometimes she loves you, but fear holds her back. In a world that often tells women to play it cool, to not appear desperate, or to wait for the man to make the first move, many women fall into a quiet kind of love, deep, genuine, yet hidden. So how do you know when she's feeling it but can't bring herself to say it? Let's dive into the 6 signs a woman is in love with you but scared to show it. When a woman is in love with you but scared to show it, one of the most telling signs is the way she remembers the little things about you, even the ones you've long forgotten. It might seem insignificant on the surface, but this is her heart speaking through quiet attention. She's not just hearing your words, she's listening between the lines, storing bits and pieces of who you are in her emotional memory bank. And that level of detail isn't accidental. It's intentional. It's love in its most subtle form. Maybe you once casually mentioned how you hate rainy mornings because they remind you of a sad childhood memory. Months later, you notice she sends you a cheerful message every time the clouds turn gray. A quote, a meme, a song, something light, something warm. She's trying to shift your mood without saying, "I remember." But she does. She always does. And she remembers because her heart is invested in your emotional comfort. You might not even realize how deeply she's tuned in. You could say something as small as your favorite snack being hard to find, and weeks later she surprises you with it. No occasion, no explanation, just that knowing smile. That's not just kindness, that's care, rooted in affection. She doesn't need a reason to do something thoughtful for you. Her reason is you. She notices the way you tap your foot when you're anxious, or how your voice slightly changes when you're tired. And she adjusts. If you mention that certain songs motivate you, she makes a playlist. If you talk about your goals, she checks in on your progress. She becomes a silent witness to your life, quietly supporting you in the background, while pretending she's just being nice. But the truth is, she's falling for you, maybe already fallen, and she's terrified of how much you matter to her. Why doesn't she say it outright? Because she's afraid. Afraid that if she reveals just how much she notices, you might think she's too intense, that she's doing too much. She doesn't want to scare you off by showing you how deeply she feels. So she makes her love look casual, effortless, like it's just who she is. But the truth is, she doesn't remember these things for everyone. You're different. You matter more than you realize. There's something incredibly intimate about someone remembering your details. It means they're paying attention when the world isn't. It means they find you important enough to hold space for you in their mind, even when you're not around. For a woman who's in love but scared to show it, remembering the little things becomes her safest form of expression, a silent confession that says, "I see you. I care for you. I think of you, even when you don't see me doing it." So if you notice her remembering the details of your life, your preferences, your patterns, your stories, don't overlook it. It's more than memory. It's affection laced with restraint. Her fear may keep her from speaking her heart, but her actions will always betray the truth. She loves you, quietly, carefully, and completely. There's a kind of love that isn't spoken, but seen. In glances, in hesitation, in the way someone's eyes light up when they think no one's watching. When a woman is in love with you, but scared to show it, one of the most honest signs is in her eyes. You may not notice it at first, but if you pay close enough attention, you'll catch it. The way she scans the room when she walks in, how her eyes instinctively search for yours. It's almost as if she's looking for emotional safety, for confirmation that you're there, that you see her, even if she can't bring herself to say what she feels. But the moment your eyes meet hers, something shifts. She looks away, fast, as if you've caught her in a secret. And in a way you have. Because when a woman loves you in silence, her eyes betray her before her words ever could. Her gaze isn't accidental. It's a craving for connection, cloaked in fear. She may not have the courage to hold the moment, to let her eyes linger, but for that one fleeting second, everything she's been holding back shows up, unfiltered, raw, and real. This glance and look away pattern isn't random. It's emotional instinct. Her heart wants to connect, but her fear holds her hostage. She's afraid of being too obvious, of exposing herself and being met with rejection or indifference. So she looks at you with longing, but the moment she senses you've noticed, she recoils. Her eyes, once open windows into her feelings, quickly shut like blinds pulled down too quickly. Not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much. There's a vulnerability in looking at someone you love, especially when you don't know if they feel the same. When she finds your eyes across the room, it's not just about sight. It's about searching for something deeper, a connection, a moment of silent understanding. Even if the world around her is loud, crowded, or chaotic, the moment she sees you, everything narrows down to just you. You become her focus. And when you catch her in that gaze, and she looks away quickly, it's not rejection, it's emotional self-protection. Her quick glances are like soft confessions she can't say aloud. They're quiet, almost involuntary signals of her feelings. If you ever wonder how deeply someone feels about you, watch their eyes in unguarded moments. Do they soften when you enter the room? Do they light up briefly before she hides the expression? Does she scan the space and seem to ease the moment she sees you? That's not coincidence. That's emotion speaking without permission. So when you notice her eyes searching for you, then darting away the moment yours meet, don't brush it off. That moment, no matter how brief, is filled with meaning. It's a flash of truth in a world full of guarded hearts. She may never say the words, but in that glance, she's telling you everything. She sees you, she feels you. She just doesn't know how to say it yet. When a woman is in love with you but afraid to show it, one of the most subtle yet powerful signs is her consistent presence in your life without ever asking for much in return. She's always there, always supportive, always showing up in ways that seem effortless. But beneath that ease is a deep emotional restraint. She wants more time, more attention, more closeness, but she doesn't ask for it. Why? Because she's terrified of being a burden. She fears that if she expresses her desire for your time, it might push you away or make her seem needy. So instead, she plays it safe. She becomes your silent cheerleader, the one who listens when you need to talk, who replies to your texts even when you take hours to respond, who remembers your big day at work and checks in just to say, good luck. You never have to wonder if she'll be there. She always is. Yet, somehow, she never makes you feel like you owe her anything. That's not because she doesn't want more from you. It's because she respects your space more than she values her own need for connection. Her presence is steady, like a background rhythm to your life. She might not be loud, she might not constantly message you or demand attention, but you feel her in the way she notices when you're stressed, in how she sends you something funny just when you need a laugh, or how she shows up at your events even if you didn't personally invite her. She does all this with a kind of gentle loyalty that many overlook, but it's one of the clearest signs of hidden love. She's careful not to ask for your time because that request feels vulnerable. Asking means admitting that she needs you, and needing someone opens the door to rejection. So she opts to just be near you in the ways that don't require much explanation, helping, supporting, encouraging, giving. She loves from the sidelines, hoping that one day you'll notice the depth of her care and realize that she's not just a good friend, she's someone who's quietly fallen for you. There's something incredibly selfless about this kind of love. It doesn't push or pressure. It simply stays, hoping for something more, but never demanding it. That kind of emotional discipline takes strength. She may want to call you just to hear your voice, but she holds back. She may want to ask you to spend time with her, but she tells herself, if he wanted to, he would. And so she waits, quietly hoping that you want to too. If you find a woman who is always there for you, who never makes you feel guilty, who asks for nothing but gives everything, don't mistake her silence for lack of feeling. Look deeper. Her loyalty is love in disguise. Her patience is hope wrapped in fear. She's not absent-mindedly supporting you. She's showing you love in the only way she feels safe to give it, through presence, not pressure. When a woman is in love with you but scared to show it, one of the most revealing signs is how she behaves around you, especially her nervousness. You may notice it in the smallest ways, how her voice changes when she talks to you, how she fidgets with her hands or her jewelry, or how she suddenly becomes overly conscious of her words and actions. This isn't because she's uncomfortable with you. It's quite the opposite. The problem? Her nerves are a reflection of just how much she cares about how you see her. Unlike someone who's indifferent or emotionally distant, a woman who secretly loves you tends to become more self-aware in your presence. Every word she says feels loaded with meaning. Every glance is measured. And she's constantly wondering, did that sound stupid? Or did I come off too strong? This internal questioning shows just how invested she is in your perception of her. Her nervousness is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of emotional vulnerability. She wants to get it right with you. Sometimes she'll talk too much, trying to fill the silence because she's afraid the quiet might feel awkward. Other times, she might go completely quiet, worried she'll say something that gives away how she feels. This fluctuation isn't indecision. It's emotional overload. Her heart and her mind are in conflict. Her heart wants to be close to you, to connect, to let down the wall, but her mind warns her, be careful. Don't show too much. Don't ruin what you have. You might also notice that she laughs more around you, not because everything is funny, but because laughter becomes a way to release tension. It's a mask, a way to soften the intensity she feels when she's near you. And sometimes, when emotions run high, she'll become clumsy or forgetful. She might drop things, trip over her words, or blank out mid-sentence. It's not because she's not sharp. It's because love, especially unspoken love, can completely disarm even the most composed person. Her nervous energy isn't random. It's a reaction to her emotional investment. She may come across as confident in other areas of life, in work, around friends, or in public spaces, but when she's with you, something shifts. The emotional stakes are higher. She's no longer performing for the world. She's standing in front of the one person who unknowingly holds a piece of her heart. She may try to downplay it, even laugh it off when you notice. I don't know why I'm acting like this, she'll say. But deep down, she knows. She's acting like that because being near you matters to her more than she's ready to admit. If you see a woman who seems unsure of herself only around you, who stumbles, fidgets, or looks away when you compliment her, don't dismiss it as simple shyness. That nervousness is love held back by fear. She's not unsure of how she feels about you. She's just unsure of how safe it is to let those feelings out. And in that nervousness, her heart is speaking louder than any words ever could. When a woman is in love with you, but scared to show it, one of the clearest emotional patterns you'll notice is how she opens up, only to pull back just as quickly. It's like watching a door slowly creak open, offering you a glimpse into her inner world, only for it to suddenly slam shut the moment she realizes how much she's let you see. This behavior might seem confusing on the surface, but at its core, it's a reflection of vulnerability battling with fear. She wants to be known, to be close to you, but she's terrified of what might happen if she's too exposed. Opening up emotionally is not easy for her. It takes courage, especially when she deeply cares about your opinion. So when she finally shares something personal, maybe a story from her past, a secret dream, or a fear she's never told anyone. It's not accidental. It's not small talk. It's her testing the waters, seeing if you'll hold her truth gently, if you'll still look at her the same way once she's let you into her heart, even if just a little. But the moment she senses she's said too much, that she's let her guard down too far, she retreats. You might notice it in how she changes the subject, makes a joke to lighten the mood, or even downplays what she just shared. She might say something like, "Anyway, it's not a big deal," or "Forget I said that." That's not her being dismissive. That's her protecting herself. She's scared that being emotionally naked will lead to rejection or judgment, and that fear weighs heavily on her. This pullback can also take the form of sudden distance. After a deep conversation or a moment of intimacy, she might go quiet for a while. Not because she regrets the moment, but because she's overthinking every part of it. Did I say too much? Does he think I'm too emotional? Was I too vulnerable? These questions spin in her mind, creating an emotional whirlwind that convinces her to put walls back up, walls she worked so hard to bring down. What makes it more complex is that this back and forth doesn't mean she's unsure about you. In fact, it's often the opposite. The more she cares, the more she fears losing you. The closer she feels, the more she panics that being fully seen might push you away. Her pullback isn't rejection, it's self-preservation. It's her heart wanting closeness, but her mind reminding her of past hurts, past disappointments, and the risks of giving too much. So if you notice her opening up in meaningful ways, then retreating just as fast, understand that it's not confusion, it's emotional conflict. Her love is present, but it's wrapped in layers of hesitation. She's letting you see her piece by piece, not because she doesn't trust you, but because she's slowly learning to trust herself to be safe in love. When a woman opens up and pulls back, she's not playing games. She's showing you the battle between her desire to be loved deeply and her fear of being broken again. And in that delicate dance, she's hoping, quietly, patiently, that you'll hold space for both. When a woman is in love with you, but too afraid to show it, one of the most profound and easily overlooked signs is how deeply she supports your growth, even from the sidelines. She may never say the words, "I love you," but her actions tell a story. She watches you chase your dreams, level up and push through your struggles, and while she may not be standing at the center of your world, she is rooting for you from a distance, with a heart full of quiet hope. She pays attention to your ambitions, the goals you mention in passing, the frustrations you try to hide, the wins you barely celebrate. She remembers them, sometimes even more clearly than you do. Maybe she sends you a podcast that aligns with your dream career. Maybe she messages you a quote the night before a big decision. Maybe she cheers you on when others remain silent. These things may seem small, but they come from a place of deep emotional investment. She believes in you, sometimes more than you believe in yourself. What's remarkable is that she does this without asking for recognition. She doesn't need credit or attention. She doesn't need to be acknowledged publicly or given a title in your life. She supports you not because it benefits her, but because she genuinely wants to see you become the best version of yourself. That's what love looks like when it's laced with restraint. Unconditional support without strings attached. You may not even realize the extent of what she's doing for you. You might think she's just a good friend, someone who has your back, but what you're experiencing is love disguised as loyalty. She might stay up late listening to your worries, even when she's exhausted. She might encourage you to take that risk, even though it could mean you'll drift further from her. But that risk might be even greater than the risk of her unexpected return. For more on the two major risks that drive us to despair, live by these strengths. Love strengthens our relationships. Love discourages worry. Love steadies our fears. And risk tends to fuel love. Love strengthens our relationships. Even when you feel the risks of life, it's important to remember, love creates. She might watch you fall for someone else and still whisper prayers for your happiness. That isn't weakness, it's strength forged in love and humility. The reason she stays on the sidelines isn't because she doesn't want to be close. It's because she's afraid that stepping forward might change everything. She fears that if she exposes how much she truly cares, you might pull away or see her differently. And so she keeps her love quiet, tucked away in supportive texts, thoughtful gestures, and silent pride every time you succeed. She may never say, "I love you," out loud, but her commitment to your growth is her confession. She invests in your elevation not because she expects something in return, but because your success feels personal to her. Your happiness is hers, even if she's not part of the celebration. So if you find a woman who's constantly encouraging you, who believes in your potential, who claps for you from the background without ever demanding a place in the spotlight, don't overlook her. Her support is not ordinary. It's love in its purest, most selfless form. She may be standing on the sidelines, but her heart is right there with you, every step of the way.